It is time for the Drew Yari Show. Drew Yari.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Thursday, not Wednesday. Don't worry, you haven't got your days mixed up. It's Thursday. We're doing a special edition, Thursday edition here for the experience, following Wrestling Soup. And you already know who I am. I'm Drew, and with me, as always, is the man himself.
Justin, Spinebuster Tees, SpinebusterTees.com.
And we're being joined again by our good friend, the best beard in the business.
Yo, what is going on, everyone?
And if you guys didn't know that sexy ass voice, that's Ruben Prime.
Yes, sir, the one and only.
Yes, sir. I guess a long story short, the reason why we kind of, not permanently, obviously, we're still a Wednesday show, but we just decided to switch this week to Thursday. I had a funeral to go to earlier this Thursday, and then yesterday I had a wake to go to for a friend, and then yesterday went to the movies. So I just decided to kind of switch things over for Thursday just to kind of play it safe. But yeah, same show. And what's going on, people? Evil Dose, we already know who that is. Mr. Lippman, Savage Elite, and we'll be seeing some more people pile in. Savage Elite wants to know Justin's thoughts, or just all of our thoughts in general on the GTA 6 trailer.
I thought, so for me in particular, so GTA is my favorite gaming franchise of all time. Vice City is my favorite video game of all time. I think the GTA 6 trailer itself was very, very good. It's not better than the first trailer of GTA 5. GTA 5, when that first trailer dropped, it was like, holy fucking shit, wow, like, it was such a huge leap from GTA 4 to GTA 5. GTA 6 is gonna be a huge leap, but you don't really see it yet. It's not gonna be until that second trailer or even that third trailer where they actually show like the gameplay, because Rockstar, they always do like gameplay showcases of their games. They did that with Red Dead Redemption 2. Mm-hmm. But I think because like the third trailer of GTA 5 with Michael, the Michael storyline trailer, the Franklin storyline trailer, and the Trevor storyline trailer, those are that's probably one of the greatest video game trailers of all time. Period. Like, it's amazing. Music choice, the shots, everything. So once they get up to that, I think that's where it's at. But you got female protagonists for the first time here, so it's gonna be like a Bonnie and Clyde storyline. They're gonna be in Vice City again. So first time Vice City has a map since 2006 because of Vice City Stories. If you haven't played that, it's probably like one of the most underrated GTA games, Vice City Stories. But yeah, no, I am super, super hyped for the game. A lot of the casuals, they're gonna come in, they're gonna play it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is cool," whatever. But I'm always enthralled with the storylines and the things you can do in the game. Obviously, because it's like a takeoff for real life, which you can do in real life. But it's kind of like turned up to 100. So I thought the trailer though was fantastic though.
Yeah, what do you think, Ruben?
Oh, it looks interesting. Female protag. Basically, some of the leaks that came out a few months ago were like pretty spot on, and as people talking, for better or worse, that's what you want. To happen. Just have people talking about the game. It's like people have been waiting about a decade or so for the game to come out. It's been
over 10 years, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So the fact that we're going to get it, and you got to wait until 2025, but at least we know we have something that we can just sink our teeth in, just a little teaser. And I know in the coming months we're gonna get a lot more information about the game, and it's takes place in Miami. So yeah, I'm anticipating this game. I'm gonna play it, so you already know, and just how GTA 5 was like, people are still playing GTA 5 still to this day. So I know with GTA 6 is going to be that same thing, like another decade, another decade of GTA with GTA 6. So I think that, just all intents and purposes, like, this is going to be the most anticipated game for 2025.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, and also on top of that, like, in 3 days since it released, it has 10 million likes. Yeah. I don't even know what video out there has 10 million likes. 124 million views. That's like already surpassed, like, I think it already surpassed like the Spider-Man, it passed the Spider-Man to another game and I think another game, all combined already. And it's only been 3 days. It's number one trending on YouTube right now. Like, it's, you know. Yep. And they put a Tom Petty song in there too. So like, you know, it can't get any better. You know the soundtrack is going to be like fucking monumental as well. That's another thing a lot of people, you know, play GTA for, is, you know, for the soundtrack. Yeah, what soundtrack?
It's iconic. Yeah, it's iconic. You know, like, all the GTAs had an iconic soundtrack, and this is going to be, like, you know, phenomenal. So I can't wait.
I mean, Vice City single-handedly got me into 80s music and 80s culture. So,
yeah.
That game single-handedly got me into 80s culture, and I mean, I became an 80s junkie after that, because Vice City came out in 2002. Then, like, a couple months later in 2002, like, the I Love the 80s on VH1 came out, so I was just like, so that just turned me into an 80s junkie, so, and to a nostalgia junkie, so, yeah. Yeah, but I can't wait for it though. It's gonna be like, I mean, it's fucking, you know, pop culture personified as GTA. It's like, you know, everybody, you know, who likes video games or who just likes to, you know, have a casual good time, you know, they can just pop in GTA, play for like 20-25 minutes, cause a little mayhem, and, you know, and get off of it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, can't wait for it.
That's another aspect too, is just the casual gameplay, the online, like that definitely revolutionized GTA. The fact that you can go online, do all these heists, I think that they're gonna take it a step above with this one. So I'm all for it.
Now, any criticism I have, because I love GTA, like I said, it's my favorite gaming franchise of all time, but the GTA 5 online, they need to change it, because like it started off fantastic, great, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's do, you know, oppressors, you know, flying motorcycles, and, you know, DeLoreans, and, you know, from like Back to the Future. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a little too futuristic, a little too fantasy-like, you know what I mean? So if they keep it grounded, great, but I don't suspect that, so I'm gonna enjoy it while I can, but man, like, yeah, Rockstar fucked up there, like, in, like, 2017-ish, 2018 with GTA, but, you know, people loved it, though, because they're, you know, I mean, it's still, like, still, like, the most played game online, like, people still play GTA more than, like, Fortnite. Fortnite took over for a little bit, but GTA is still, like, the most played game online, to this day, so.
Absolutely.
So yeah, kind of getting to the wrestling side of things, really not a lot of news. I mean, I did find some articles. I mean, Justin, did you happen to bring any articles?
Yeah, there's a lot of contract stuff right now, so yeah.
Okay. Just mainly a few things that Chris Jericho said on Van Fleet's podcast. Something Bobby Lashley said about CM Punk, Vince McMahon news. And then, of course, Deadline predictions, which is going to be this Saturday. And there's also something that it's not really a game, it's more just like something kind of funny. I just wanted to just run by you guys. It involves Hulk Hogan. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, the lie that Hulk Hogan told.
I have an entire thread of Hulk Hogan lies.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I don't know. Part of me just wants to just jump to that.
Boy, there's a lot of them.
Because that'd be a whole show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we don't really have to review any of the shows. We can just kind of just talk about what worked and what didn't. So SmackDown was last Friday. Randy Orton ended up signing with SmackDown and started his feud with Roman Reigns. Told Paul Heyman, call Roman Reigns and say Daddy's back. And proceeded to RKO. Or before that, he RKO'd Jay, and then LA Knight came out to take out Solo, kind of continue that storyline. After which he RKO'd Nick Aldis, which we kind of saw coming. Which he didn't see coming, by the way. You know, no one sees it coming. Comes out of nowhere.
That was his welcome RKO to WWE. So
yes, sir. Let's see. I mean, other than that, you know, SmackDown was enjoyable. I can't really think of anything else that happened that was like too crazy. So there's going to be a tournament for the U.S. title for Logan Paul's U.S. Championship. The competitors will be Santos Escobar, Dragon Lee, Karrion Kross, Bobby Lashley, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, and an unnamed NXT superstar, and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens had a match against Waller, and Kevin Owens, quote-unquote, hurt his hand. So I don't know, maybe that's going to be a way to take him out of the tournament. But overall, what did you guys think of SmackDown?
a show on Friday night. It was fine. It was fine. Nothing groundbreaking or anything. I did like the dynamic with Randy Orton being back, obviously. Now a lot of people is thinking Royal Rumble with him and Reigns. I will save it for Elimination Chamber, but it's really not my choice to make. But I like the tournament for the United States Championship. I think that's very cool. They haven't done a tournament in a while, or a tournament that really meant anything. So, yeah. But outside of that, I think I think SmackDown was fairly fine for the most part.
Yeah, agreed. Ruben, did you watch SmackDown?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was nothing monumental happened. Like just oh my god, must see. But yeah, the tournament. Logan Paul announcing the tournament. It's good. Gives people on SmackDown something to do, and it gives Logan Paul a challenger. Randy Orton segment at the end of the show. Enjoyed it. And of course, he's going to start his feud with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, as he should, because storyline wise they took him out, so that needs to happen. And Nick Aldis getting introduced to WWE. Yeah, like overall enjoyed the show. Nothing too crazy, and yeah, just none too crazy, but I enjoyed the show.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Roman and the Orton feud. I don't think they've had a feud, or like maybe a formal feud, since like 2015.
It's been a while, yeah.
And that was when Orton, I think, was like kind of still doing the authority shit. So yeah, as far as like an actual like feud, yeah, they haven't really had a feud, and I think it could work because now you have Roman as the tribal chief, and now you have Randy, who's fucking Jack Diesel, and so it should be interesting.
Yes,
but yeah, that was SmackDown. Like you guys said, it was fine. It didn't do anything that blew our socks off. And they had Raw on Monday. Raw was pretty good. It kicked off with Drew McIntyre, still going down the path of being a heel, and it's working, because he's kind of doing heel shtick. You find yourself agreeing with him, but you still think he's a dick because he just can't get over it. He can't get over Jay, which in all actuality should be mad at Solo, but he's not on the same show with Solo, so he's stuck being pissed off at Jay. So I like the heel Drew stuff. I liked it even more that he beat the shit out of Sammy and injured his leg. So Sammy is actually going to legit miss some time. I don't know if the injury is legit, but they are writing him off of television. And then we'll talk about the main event. But overall, what do you guys think about heel Drew McIntyre? That is.
It's refreshing. It's needed. It's something that I'm sure that he wanted to do as well. You know what I mean? But as long as it's keeping Drew happy, and if he wants to do this and eventually re-sign with WWE, great. But yeah, no, I'm liking what he's doing right now for sure, though. And it's a justified character too. It's not just I'm a bad guy now, but just because his motives make sense. You know what I mean? And in his eyes, he doesn't think he's doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? He in his eyes, he's thinking I'm still the same person. Well, clearly he's not. So, yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it for sure.
Yeah. I enjoyed Raw. The stuff with McIntyre, I'm loving it. Just the heel work that he's been doing, taking Sammy out, and his motives are clear and not the typical, I'm a chicken shit heel. He is actually giving focus, and this is definitely gonna have they're gonna revisit Seth and McIntyre down the line, most likely at the Rumble. So we'll see. And yeah, just the fact that he took Sammy out, and this gives Sammy time to, just to get some time off of TV, because it doesn't make sense for Sammy to be on TV every week, because you're gonna wear out his welcome. So, give him some needed time off, makes Drew's, heel run, credible, took out Sami Zayn. So he's got to wait and see. And I'm enjoying his heel run. He's a dick, but you understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a very Jesus Christ, a very refreshing, take for Drew, because I've always been a fan of his, and he really did carry, the pandemic on his back, being champion, and I thought he did a pretty good job. I thought he had good matches, but he was just kind of stuck in a really precarious spot. And lately he's kind of been getting stale, because it's just he just comes out and kind of just does the same shtick. He has a good match, cuts a decent promo, but it's just what have you done for me lately? That's kind of the thing that has always kind of been with Drew. Now he's a heel, gives him a fresh coat of paint, as they say, gives him fresher matchups. So we'll see what happens, but so far I'm enjoying it. Another thing I'm enjoying are the Creed brothers. They really are going out of their way to make the Creed brothers look like $1 million, and the Creed brothers are going out of their way to look like $1 million. They're going to be facing the Judgment Day for the tag titles, Priest and Finn. And then this week they wrestled Dom and JD McDonough, which the Creed brothers won. And in storyline fashion, they want to make it. The Judgment Day are even shit. They're the real deal. Last week, Finn said, "Hey, these Creed brothers are the real deal." And even Dom was like, they're the real deal. So, I'm glad to see that they're doing well. They're really good. Can't say enough good things about them. I know Justin here loves the Creeds, but yeah. I mean, what do you guys think about the this development of the Creed brothers? How well they're doing?
I mean, not. What am I trying to say here? It's not a surprise. If you've been paying attention to them and see the type of match that they can put on and the athleticism, it's eventually they were gonna, win the crowd over. You know what I mean? Same thing is happening with DIY right now. They're slowly winning the crowd over too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So let these guys go out there and do what they do best, and eventually the crowd will take to them. You know what I mean? That's why I wasn't worried about the Creeds. That's why I'm not worried about DIY. Eventually the crowd is gonna see, like, okay, these guys are fucking pretty good. like, okay, I see why, the NXT elitists, why they like these guys. You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, couldn't be any happier to see them gain the success on the main roster. Both teams, actually.
Right. Yeah, I'm happy to be wrong about DIY, because I know the previous week I was like, yeah, it doesn't seem like they're doing that well. And then this week, I don't know, it's because of a new crowd. Maybe it was a new crowd, but just, the crowd seemed to really get behind DIY. So good. I'm happy for that. Yeah, Ruben, thoughts on the Creeds?
Yeah, thoroughly enjoying their work so far, and they were legit in NXT, and now that they're in the main roster, like, you're starting to see just the rocket ship that's being strapped behind their back, and it's good because we definitely just need these guys to go out and just let them do what they need to do out there, and they'll get over. And yeah, those Jesus, that they're freaks of nature in a good way. And as far as DIY, I mean, I watched them back in NXT Black and Gold, and I knew that it was just to give them time, because rough start, first time around, Ciampa and Gargano, and I know now everyone is a fan of Gargano, but the stuff that they did in NXT, the OG Black and Gold NXT, they did some good stuff. So just kind of give them time, and of course, a new city, a new crowd, and they're starting to get over. So that's I'm happy for that. And the tag team division's looking pretty good. Like, there's 2 additions, 2 legit tag teams, so I'm excited.
Nice. And then, of course, the main event, which was advertised last week, Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso for the World Championship. Monday was, I don't know if it was specifically Monday, but it was the 14-year anniversary of Umaga's death. The story being that the Usos got to WWE because of Umaga. Umaga drove them to a show in Houston, and were able to kind of get their foot in the door. So Jay, dedicated the match to Umaga, and the match was really good. Really good match, as you expected. Good back and forth action. Really solid match. No fuckery at all, which I'm happy for. Jay proving why he's main event Jey Uso. He belongs in the main event. He is that good. He's, in so many tag teams, you just, like, there's very few guys. I don't want to say very few guys, but, like, when I looked at the Usos, I just looked at the Usos as, like, they're a team that works better together and not apart. But, Jay has proven that he can, shed that Uso image of, like, I'm just a tag team wrestler to now I'm a singles superstar. And he proved it on Monday. So hats off to Jey Uso for that match. Seth Rollins getting the win as usual. Overall, what did you guys think about the main event?
Great main event. It was a pay-per-view quality main event. It was a clean finish. Can't really complain about it. One thing that part of me did kind of wish that Drew would have came out during the match, so that way it could have been like a triple threat match at Royal Rumble, but I guess because Jay ain't winning the fucking Royal Rumble, so you might as well just put him in a match like that at the Royal Rumble. But outside of that, I thought it was a very, very good TV match.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Jey Uso, he has been putting in that work. He's over with the crowd, and hey, it's not just a tagline. He is really main event, and the fact that he's going solo in the solo run has been just really, really great. Again, sky's the limit, and sooner or later, not in 2024, maybe 2025, maybe he can be world champ, because there's a long list of people ahead of him. But I think him and Sammy, for the belt for 2025, I think that could be a thing.
Yeah,
sure. So yeah, he's proving the moniker is not just a moniker, like it's legit. And yeah, just like what you guys were saying, the fact that like normally when tag teams split up, they don't usually work out well, but in this case, one of the few exceptions, and I'm really happy for Jay. Like, guy's over. The guy is really, really over. Not much else I can say.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing good work. Next week on Raw, CM Punk will be on the show to possibly sign a contract to be on Raw. He's also going to be on SmackDown tomorrow for a tribute to the troops.
Also, just found out for SmackDown tomorrow that it is going to be LA Knight and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline. So it's Cole and Jimmy Uso. So that should be main event tomorrow. So,
and congratulations to LA Knight, who just tied the knot with his girlfriend. I just found this out, so good on Knight. When asked, do you take this woman's hand in marriage, he replied, yeah. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was low hanging fruit. You gotta take it.
Come on, it's funny. It's funny. I like it. But yeah, that was Raw. Again, I mean, I thought it was better than SmackDown. I enjoyed it. Still staying on Jey Uso news. I guess we can kind of like shift back and forth to news. So, sad news. Jey Uso can no longer use yeet. He can no longer say yeet. He can no longer wear it on his shirts or anything. I noticed this during the Jey Uso package where they blurred out the yeet on his shirt. This is because a wrestler known as Casey Huffman, a pro wrestler out of West Virginia, has owned the trademark to the word since 2021. Huffman owns the trademark to the phrase yeet, something that WWE feels they can't dispute over. I think they can. Entertainment services, namely providing professional wrestling exhibitions, shows, and performances by professional wrestlers and entertainers rendered live and through live and recorded broadcast media, namely television, radio, via the internet, and commercial online services. Okay, that's not that was a whole bunch of nothing. But yeah, and I believe I have a. Let's see. An actual legal document here. Here we go.
Well, good for that wrestler. You know what I mean? Like, these guys getting his name out there, and I mean, even though he trademarked it, you know what I mean? But yeah, good for that wrestler. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a few people buy his merch. So,
no.
I mean, you never know. I mean, it's the independents. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to support people in the independents. So, you know what I mean? Like, it sucks for. I mean, I don't want to really say it sucks for Jay. Like, Jay's making a shit ton of fucking money, but you know what I mean? But if it's at the end of the day, if someone already fucking trademarked it, it's kind of like me trademarking something, then WWE uses it, then I'm like, oh no, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you guys will probably be like, oh shit, man, you won that belt, good for you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at another person, kind of calling out the big company, because that takes balls to do. So, he could have just left it alone and just been like, no, but I'm pretty sure he probably could have got a nice little payday for that. So,
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was gonna say, if WWE were smart, they will try to, get that trademark, because end of the day, that's money right there, and Jey Uso is over, and and I get it, and I get it. Someone from the Indies, he was smart. I say that, like, he was smart to trademark that. And I didn't even know that. I didn't know this indie wrestler until this news broke out. But
yeah, I didn't know either. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
It's a shame, but I don't know. I think WWE can either do one or two things. They can like put it like in the storyline to where Roman can bring up, oh, I was the one that in kayfabe, I was the one that brought the, I got the copyright to Yeet, so that way Jay can't say it on TV because, he hates it. So they could like weave that into the storyline for a reason why, just for it to make sense and, kayfabe. Or they can have, like, WWE could just go and like shell out whatever, just a blank check, like, here, blank check, give us the copyright, give us the trademark, and like, listen, money talks. For sure. Money talks.
You know what I would do? This is what I would do. If I'm that wrestler, I'll be like, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can have it, but let me come in and have a match.
Yeah.
Like a jobber's match. Just get he's just job out to Jay.
Yeah.
Just have him come in, job out to Jay, and then after that, Jay gets somebody. He's like, yeet.
Jey Uso versus Casey Huffman with where the winner gets full custody of Yeet.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeet on the ladder match.
Because at the end of the day, like, it helps that wrestler. He gets exposure. He's on TV, right? That would make his career.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
that would make his career. Like, you know what I mean?
That and also just like I think it was Ruben who said it. Just like cut him a big fat check. Just like saying, okay, we'll give you whatever money, whatever insane amount you want, and you can also come in and have a match.
Yeah, dude could be a millionaire overnight. Like, listen, money talks at the end of the day. And I understand, with the indies, like, it's gritty, it's underground, it has that sense of, like, yeah, sticking it to, to the big corporate machine, but money talks at the end of the day. And I think that if WWE, however big that blank check has to be, he will definitely, take it and cash it in, no doubt. Because, getting a few T-shirt sales in the indies is cool, but the big money is selling that trademark to WWE, and then also being able to have a match on TV, just a jobber match. Like, oh, just put on TV, hey, get the 15 minutes, 1, 2, 3, bam. So it's a win-win. Get that exposure, like Justin was saying, Yeet, Jay can say Yeet again, and it makes sense. Like, I think that's the smart play.
Now, I'm gonna say something I guess controversial, but I don't give a fuck, as I usually don't.
Ooh.
I don't care for Yeet. I think they were gonna overuse it, and it was just gonna be a corny catchphrase. Yeet's not like, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's great. You know what I mean? LA Knight doesn't. Yeet is cool. It's cool. I like it. But I think knowing WWE, they were just gonna overuse, overplay it, and I was gonna get sick of it. So a part of me is glad that it's gone from TV, at least.
All right, I'm gonna be the white guy in the conversation. What does Yeet actually mean?
See, it's an expression. It's kind of like saying, like, like when you throw something, you know what I mean? Like, yeet.
Huh.
Yep.
The first time I actually heard it, we were at my cousin's house, and I almost fell out of my chair. And my cousin went, "You almost yeeted out of your chair." I went, "What?"
I mean, yeah, but it's kind of there's another that, like, yeets like to throw something, but like also as well, it's like it's just like overall, it's like an energy expression, like.
Yeah, it's like,
like
a
kind of like
verb.
crunk. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean?
It's like a verb. You know, it's like
Yeah.
an action word, like kind of like a verb, adjective. Like it, and whatever word you will say as a as a verb, you just replace with yeet.
Yeah.
Or adjective. So yeah, like that's basically what it is. Just a a street term, that kind of thing.
But it's mostly West Coast because no one,
Yeah, it's
no
West
one,
Coast.
yeah, no one down here says yeet like at all. Like, but like he's been around for like years upon years upon years upon years. So, but
Yep.
All right, moving on from the Yeet. That was Raw. We can talk a little bit about NXT. NXT was last night. Pretty good show from what I saw. Overall, what did you guys think about NXT from just top, middle, bottom?
that was great. That was a great show. One thing I will say is, the thing that stuck out to me the biggest was Wesley coming out and playing that promo, and I don't even really call it a promo. It was just him just talking, talking to the crowd and to us at home, and yeah, man, it really sucks. It really sucks. He's gonna need back surgery, and I don't know what the injury came from. But yeah, just at the end of the day, it's very, very, very sad. Very, very sad because he just came back too as well. So but apparently he's gonna be out from 8 to 12 months, something like that. So
Yep, I saw that. That sucks because I love Wesley. Again, we kind of agreed. We weren't crazy about it's just like he went from being in the world title scene and now he's going back to the North American title scene. But regardless, I love Wesley. He's a guy kind of like Jey Uso, where his situation was a little different because his partner got fired, which I'm still pissed off about that. Like, just
Kimberly's like the devil.
Yeah, fuck Kimberly, cunt. But and Nash Carter, he's obviously doing well. He just got engaged to Gigi Dolan, and he's doing pretty good in Impact. So he's not doing terrible. But I'm still pissed off about it. But just Wesley was able to make the most of it and just become this, this white meat, stomping clap babyface.
Hold on. He ain't white meat. He's dark meat.
Okay, dark meat. He became this dark meat, stomping clap babyface.
I'll be back, guys.
Okay. All right, but he's done great. Every match he had, when he had that reign with the North American title, was a great match. He puts on consistently really good matches. So it obviously does suck, and they're really. I was trying to look it up to see where that injury stemmed from. I can't get an answer. So
yeah, I haven't got any details on that.
So it does suck. I feel terrible for him, and like you said, it wasn't even a promo. It was just him speaking from the heart because the guy was legit crying. Like, you can hear the pain in the guy's voice. It wasn't like him memorizing cue cards or a script. It was him just saying this sucks. Because I've been there where I felt like I had a lump in my throat and I was just like I couldn't speak because so many tears, so many man tears. So I feel horrible for Wesley, and I just hopefully we see him soon. And he's 100%. Dom came out to kind of gloat as usual, and then Rey Mysterio came on screen and handpicked Dragon Lee to be his opponent at Deadline, which we'll talk about Deadline predictions in a bit. Again, I'm kind of like you, where it's just like, but he's on the main roster. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But the rest of NXT was good. We can kind of breeze through the results real quick. You had a Survivor qualifier. Basically, anyone who lost had a chance to get their basically a last chance match is the best way to put it. Fallon Henley won, so good. Her and her boy. What the fuck's his name? Briggs?
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna be in there. Josh Briggs, he's going to be in the Iron Survivor Men's. So, cool. Happy for him.
Josh Briggs has a breakout of being a great single star because he was the Evolve champion right before Evolve shut down. So, and when he first came in NXT, I was like, man, like, why is he in a fucking tag team? Like this guy was the Evolve champion. You know what I mean? It was like him. It was like Austin Theory then was like him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I see big star in him, but we'll see if this gives him that breakout match. So,
yeah, he looks like a badass. He kind of looks like a young JBL almost. Like he looks like an old school, Memphis wrestling badass. Lola Vice wrestled Tatum Paxley. Lola Vice won, of course, and she's a star. So,
I like Tatum Paxley too. I think her character change was needed. So hopefully she keeps involving that. But it's not her time right now. But like hopefully it'll become her time sooner rather than later. So,
right, she needed a character change. Because as long as I can remember, she was just kind of like, girl number 5. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but she, in this, NXT Women's Division that's just so stacked, she was just there. Now she has this new character, and it's like, okay, let's see where this goes. I'm interested. Next, you had a tag, or I guess a mixed tag match, Alpha Academy versus Metaphor. Let me ask you this. So, like, the big spot that happened in the match was Lash Legend body slammed Otis.
Yep.
Which very impressive. It wasn't just like he like straight up like picked him up and dropped him. Like no, she like took her time and picked him up. And
she held him up. Yeah.
So Lash is obviously very muscular. This isn't the first time that Otis has done stuff like this with female wrestlers. There's the segment from a few years ago with Bianca Belair where she straight up deadlifted him, like on her arm, like it was nothing. So, what do you think about that? Like, what are your thoughts on and I hate to sound like this, but like, this big muscular chick, lifting up this guy. Like, do you think this kind of changes who she is as a character on the show? Do you think this changes Otis's kind of like, I don't want to say character because at the moment he's pretty much just the comedy guy, and I love Otis, but do you think it kind of like you can't really take him seriously with like serious contenders?
I don't think I ever did really take him seriously with serious contenders.
Right.
Okay, Bianca Belair did it. When Bianca Belair did it, did Otis' character change?
No,
not really. He was still Otis at the end of the day. I mean, he can pull in serious matches if he needs to. I mean, I don't really see anything. This doesn't hurt Otis.
No.
Or it doesn't help Otis either, but it doesn't hurt him.
I guess my point is it kind of just, it further keeps him in the category of he's comedy guy. Like
yeah, sure. I mean, we need those.
Which I have no problem with. I'm not like, stomping my hand against the table and be like, serious. Like, no, I'm not trying to do that. With someone like Lash Legend, do you think this kind of not necessarily creates a problem, but it's kind of like, and I don't mean to compare, but like, kind of like with China, where like she, just came in as like a manager or like, muscle, and then they started throwing her in the ring with guys, and then they threw her back in the ring with women, and then it didn't look right for her because it's like she went from wrestling, Jeff Jarrett and Triple H, and I think she had a match against The Rock and Chris Jericho, and then all of a sudden she's in a feud with Ivory for the women's title, and it's just like, this doesn't look right. So do you think with someone like Lash, you kind of keep her where she is now?
Like as a manager?
Yeah.
I don't like her in the ring.
Okay.
This doesn't change anything for me. I stated that her role that she's in the ring, I don't want her in the ring. What she's doing with Metaphor right now as kind of the outside mouthpiece, loudmouth, that's where she strides in. She does not need to wrestle.
Right. All right, I just wanted to kind of get your opinion on
that. So I basically feel the same about both of them.
All right, cool. Fair enough. Let's see. Byron Saxton hosted the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge Summit. So that happened. And then Nathan Frazier versus Axiom. It was a no contest. Andre Chase announced that Chase U was under academic probation after.
Poor Andre Chase, man. He just wants to provide great education, but this guy is a fucking gambling devil.
The root of all evil. Iron Survivor qualifier men's: Carmelo Hayes versus Tyler Bate versus Eddie Thorpe versus Joe Coffey. Tyler Bate won, so cool. NXT Anonymous showed footage of Melo following Trick right before the attack. Trick asked for answers from his friend and got nothing, and the NXT showed a next video of Lexus King wishing Melo luck before the match. And what else am I missing? There was a segment with Ilya Dragunov and Baron Corbin, pretty much hyping up the match for this Saturday.
That was a great promo segment, and kind of what happened at the very end, where Corbin was like, attack me, you coward! This, that, and the other. He puts the table in the corner, and he's like facing away from Ilya. Ilya just turns him around and hugs him like he's fucking Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder. That word has kept us down for 400 years.
We're moving on up to the east side.
Oh man, that was the first thing I thought of immediately. I was like, man, he just did a fucking Tropic Thunder right there.
That's a theme song from the Jeffersons. Don't make it not true. That was fun. But yeah, that was a good segment. Also, I think I skipped over this. So Nikita Lyons came back.
Yep.
She came back with all her goodness. And took out Blair Davenport. Or not took her out, but like went after Blair Davenport. So good to see Nikita back. Ruben, you still here? No,
I don't think he said he came back yet.
Okay.
Oh, he just got back?
No, I don't think so. But I guess he'll announce when he comes back. But that was NXT. NXT, still continues to be the better show of the WWE shows. So nice to see that happening. NXT Deadline. We can get a predictions. It's going to be this Saturday, December the 8th, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, at the Total Mortgage Arena. Let's see. There's 7 matches so far. Looks like that's going to be the case. There's a pre-show match, that's kind of surprising because we haven't had a pre-show match in a while, or for WWE that is.
NXT, I think they've been doing it more lately on NXT. Right. When it comes to because I think at No Mercy, there was remember it was Kalani Jordan and Blair Davenport in the pre-show.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Then Great American Bash, they had Nathan Frazier, Dragon Lee, and Luisa Leon and Valentine Flores versus Metaphor. So yeah, they've been doing the pre-show matches more consistent in NXT rather than the main roster.
Oh, okay. There's one pre-show match. Is Axiom versus Nathan Frazier in a singles match. Go for Nathan Frazier.
I don't care who wins. I don't say that in a bad way because this match is gonna be fucking awesome. That's what I mean. I don't care who wins. This should be an awesome match given time. But I'll go with Nathan Frazier though to win.
All right.
He needs he's that guy that at this point needs a title. That North American Championship. Hopefully, I mean I know he had shots at, but he's gonna be a guy in 2024. That's going to be either North American champion or possibly NXT champion, given his tenure. So,
all right. This match was added on Tuesday. Carmelo Hayes versus Lexus King. Ava Raine, I guess, is the assistant to Shawn Michaels, I guess. But
I don't understand where that came from, but I guess they need to do something for it because there's no more dyad. So
Carmelo Hayes versus Lexus King. Dyad. Or Schism. I don't know. Whatever. It's dead. So Carmelo
Tomato,
Hayes
tomato.
Tomato. We're just getting into NXT deadline predictions, Rube.
Cool.
The first match, this was announced on Tuesday, like I mentioned. Carmelo Hayes versus Lexis King.
Well, this is going to be a very storyline-driven match. Depending on what happens here, is something's going to happen. Something's going to happen with the confirmation of the storyline. Is Melo involved in some fashion with Trick Williams? It seems like it, right? I thought they were going to do something that, Lexis King and Melo work together in some fashion, but I don't know. You may still get that. I don't know, but I'm going with Lexis King. I'm going with Pillman Jr. I think he's going to win with some nefarious means here. His first pay-per-view, too, as well. You don't want to have him lose first pay-per-view as well. But he is going up against Carmelo Hayes, too, so that's another big thing. But I'm going to go with Lexis King, though.
Yeah, I'm going to go with King. It's his first takeover, or deadline, or PLE, whatever you want to call it.
Same.
Yeah, like Justin mentioned, he's going to win by doing some heel shit, so go with King. Let's see. Another match that was announced on Tuesday. Roxanne Perez versus Kiana James in a steel cage match.
I'm afraid of this match here. Because I hope they don't do anything stupid in this match. Because I don't think it's needed. I don't even think this needs to be a steel cage match. I understand why it is, but I just hope that this is a safe match. But I'm going to go with Roxanne, of course, because... it's Roxy. You know what I mean? Like
Texas girl.
I'm
going to go with Roxanne too. I'm kind of like you. Like, I'm not sure why this is a steel cage match. But it's one of those things I get it, but I don't really see why it needs to be a steel cage match. But whatever.
No, I get it. I just think it doesn't need to, like on. Kayfabe wise, yes, makes sense. Totally get it. But just like when it comes to the match itself, I hope they're not using this as an excuse to do something stupid in the match itself. You know what I mean? Not because I don't think both women can't do it. It's just that I just don't think they're tenured as of yet to be doing something like that. If it's like Charlotte versus Becky, okay, I trust them to do whatever the fuck they can do in a cage match. You know what I mean? I would trust them. I don't really trust them as of yet because they're both young. They're both still trying to experience it, and this is gonna be both their first steel cage matches, I think, ever. I don't think Roxy never did it on the Indies or in Ring of Honor. Kiana James, to my recollection, never done it before either because she did a little bit of the Indies before coming in. So, I don't know. I don't think so. No, don't want to see it.
Okay, Ruben, what do you think?
Roxanne. Think she goes over in this match.
Nice. Dirty Dom, the North American champion, defending against Dragon Lee. What do you got?
Rey Mysterio's gonna be out there, right?
I don't think so.
Yes, he is.
Okay, I guess he is.
Well, I mean, he said it on NXT. I mean, are you calling Ray a liar?
Well, he's a bad father, so he's also a liar.
Nah, it doesn't make him a liar, though. You could be a bad father without being a liar. It's like you don't got to be gay to suck. Well, sorry, I won't say that.
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Justin, what's wrong with you?
I'm gonna go. I mean, I've been going against Dom this entire time. Now, my thing is that if Dragon Lee wins, okay, great. He is the North American champion. The title goes to SmackDown, but it doesn't stay on NXT. But that means you have to bring. That means you have to bring Dom. I'm sorry. That means you have to bring Dragon Lee back down to NXT. I think Dom wins. I think for reigns wise with NXT, they like to have the Judgment Day on there as much as possible. I think they're gonna keep it on Dom. Now Wesley was still involved here. I think Wesley had a great chance of winning, right? But obviously, he's out now. I think they're gonna keep it on Dom.
Yeah,
There's really no reason. There's no reason. There's no really no, a real reason to put it on Dragon Lee.
no. Whoever's going to take it off of Dom is going to be somebody that's over enough. And Wesley, as much as I like him, he's not over. He's not that over. So they're going to keep it on Dom.
He wasn't over?
No, not Wesley. Dragon Lee.
Oh, I mean, Dragon Lee's over. He's over, but I mean,
he's not over.
I mean, he doesn't. I think what you mean to say is that he's not the guy that's going to draw ratings on Tuesday.
No. Wesley, like you said, if he didn't get hurt, he probably would have been the guy to beat Dom. But yeah, this is going to be a good match, but Dom's going to win because the network likes the Judgment Day, and he pops a rating. So yeah, it's going to be Dom. It's going to be Dom. Ruben.
Yeah, it's got to be Dominic. It's no one else makes sense right now, and I mean, Dragon Lee's he's on SmackDown. So, I mean, I'll be surprised if he wins, but I do think that Dom takes it for the time being. Also, I don't think that Judgment Day doesn't seem to be fracturing like on a full fracture right now. Like, you're starting to see bits of, just cracks. But I think for right now, Dom retains, but once they find someone to get the belt off of him, that's when you're gonna start to see the cracks start to form.
Right. Which they're kind of slowly building to that. Yeah. But yeah, it's not gonna happen with Dragon Lee. All right. Singles match for the NXT Championship: Ilya Dragunov versus Baron Corbin. Should be a good match. I mean, Baron has been doing some good stuff in NXT, and he seems to work better with smaller guys, specifically better workers. So yeah, Ilya's going to get this one.
Yeah. I'm probably in the minority. I wouldn't mind seeing Baron Corbin beat Ilya, because I think Baron Corbin's doing some of the best work he's done since his first run in NXT. But yeah, Ilya's going to win though. Ilya's going to win. Like. This will stay a transition feud for Ilya until someone else, goes up against Ilya. I mean, I really don't know who's gonna be that guy that's gonna take that title off of Ilya. I mean, Jesus, man, like, there's really no one down there right now can legitimately take that title off of Ilya. I mean, you want to be Braun Breaker, right? Ain't gonna be Trick Williams, ain't gonna be Dijak. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna be Baron Corbin, ain't gonna be Mello.
I like Dijak.
He's Dijak. I love Dijak. He's fantastic. He's not gonna be Ilya for the title. No. That's not happening.
Hey, I mean, you said you wanted Baron to do it. I would love if Dijak did it, because I love Dijak.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, I would want Baron to do it. I know he's not. I know that Dijak's not gonna. He's not gonna take this. There's no way. Not with that gimmick. No. I know y'all love the gimmick. It's like funny, haha, all that stuff. Kind of like how I feel about Von Kali. It's funny, haha. But realistically, he ain't taking the title.
Wait, what do you got? What do you got against the gimmick?
I mean, the gimmick's okay. It's not main event.
Yeah, I think it is. I beg to differ.
You think it's a main event gimmick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I mean, before Dijak was just, hey, I'm tall ex-basketball player guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, his gimmick's better than what it was at. I mean, he didn't have a character, but just because you get a gimmick doesn't mean that it's a gimmick that's gonna be like a main event worthy gimmick. Like, this is not one of those. Trick, I'll put it to you this way: out of everybody right now, Trick is the closest one.
Yeah, exactly.
Trick is the closest one, I think, to be Ilya. And I still don't think he's going to be Ilya.
Well, not now. Well, maybe
probably not now. Yeah, probably not now. But like,
you got to wait for him to finish the shit with Mello, and then after that, he's going to be the most over babyface on the show.
Yeah. So. But we'll see. But yeah, I mean, whoever beats Ilya is gonna be a main man. Could be Trick Williams, but outside of that, I don't really see him being anybody else. And realistically, it could be Tyler Bate, really, but they haven't done shit with Tyler Bate. Like, he's not believable right now. Like, this gimmick that he has right now is kind of like Dijak. It's nothing that's main event about it. You know what I mean? Tyler Bate can get behind the ring. Obviously, Dijak can get behind the ring, but nothing about them, both of them, says, like, oh, man, like, that's the next person. Like, you know, back in the day, NXT, like, you could tell who that next person was, right? You can tell that, okay, well, you know, you have Tommaso Ciampa, you know, basically win the title off of Aleister Black. Aleister Black took the title, you know, off of, you know, this guy. And, you know, so you can tell when things are ready to shape up, but... You know, just right now, like, it's like, I don't know, outside of a couple people, I don't know who can really beat Ilya Dragunov right now.
I can beat Ilya Dragunov. Just give me 5 minutes. He will kill me. He'll kill me in a second.
He'll kill all of us. He'll kill all of us all in one shot, so.
Ruben, who'd you pick for the championship match?
I would like Baron to win. But I think that Ilya goes over here, and especially the in-ring segment between the two of them was like that was fire. That was fire.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Drew earlier that that segment was it reminded me once Ilya turned him around and hugged him. It was Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I went back and watched it a few times because it was really that good. Yeah, Baron's been putting doing some good work down there in NXT, and say what you want about Baron, like he's jokes, all the joke gimmicks aside, he's not that bad of a worker. He's very solid.
Right.
He's always been good. I've always been preaching how good Baron Corbin was. It was just his situation on the main roster that,
Yeah, like all the gimmicks didn't do him any favors. But yeah, like I remember, again, I go back to Black and Gold. He was one of those ones that I was looking out for, and I said, this dude's going to be something. And it's a shame that when he went up to the main roster, he got caught with the Vince virus, just booking, just the idiotic, ridiculous booking. But he's still one of my favorites. Just shocker. He's definitely one of my favorites. But Ilya goes over here. And yeah, I don't see maybe Tyler Bate get the title, because I think Ilya down the line will be one of the ones to be called up to the main roster. So yeah, for the time being, my heart wants Baron to win, but I think my head says Ilya.
Yeah.
All right. Women's Iron Survivor Challenge to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship: Tiffany Stratton, Lash Legend, Blair Davenport, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley.
Oh, I like this field. Minus Lash Legend, but I like this field, though. I'm going to go with... I was going to say Blair Davenport, but I think Nikita's going to come in and, do some fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be Lash Legend.
No.
They can't do. They cannot do that. I guess Tiffany by default, but
I don't see Tiffany because I think they're just biding their time until January.
Yeah, I do too, but it's who would you go? Kalani, great. I would love to see it, but I'm trying to babyface versus babyface. They could tell a story there, but I don't know. Fallon Henley would be I won't say a shocker, but I think Fallon Henley, she's been one of the ones that's just been under the radar, tag team champions with Kiana James, under the radar. She hasn't really had a real shot. So I would say Fallon Henley. If it ain't Fallon Henley, good God, man. It's either Tiffany Stratton or Blair Davenport.
I'm gonna go with Fallon. Because again, it looks like they want to do something with her because, like you said, she's been very under the radar on the show, and like a big part of her tenure in NXT has just been with Briggs and Jensen. So, and I like her. I mean, from what I've seen from her, she's actually very good. I mean, she's a good baby face. She's the stomp and clap baby face. So I think this is kind of their way of rewarding her. Tiffany's Tiffany. They're gonna put her in the Rumble. She's gonna come out and be a surprise entrant. Lash, hell no. Blair, like you said, Nikita's gonna come out and fuck with the match. She's gonna fuck with her.
I will say, if there's only the Nikita Lyons, I'm gonna pick Blair Davenport, being that there's no Nikita Lyons, even though that's a high chance. But I'm gonna still go with Blair Davenport.
I wouldn't mind Blair because I like Blair, and she's a good kind of bitchy mean heel, and it would kind of like complement what's her name, Valkyria.
That's gonna be a great match because that match is gonna end up happening. I don't know for sure Blair's gonna win, but once that match does happen, that's gonna be a great match.
Right. But let's say like Nikita does come out and Blair still wins, because Blair can be like, "Haha, you did everything you thought you could do, but I still won, bitch." Like that could be a thing. But I'm going with Blair. If not Blair, I'm gonna go with Fallon. And Kalani, I love her, but she'll get her shot one day, just not today.
Yeah, it's too early for her. It's too early for her right now.
Right.
Now in 2024, I think Kalani is probably gonna be the champion. I think she may be NXT Women's Champion in 2024. She's that talented.
Right. Ruben, who do you pick?
I think toss up between Blair and Tiffany Stratton. The other two, Jordan and Henley, they're not yet, not ready yet. And Lash Legend, no, absolutely not. Absolutely
Jesus,
not.
Man. Like if she ends up winning, man, like that's terrible. That'll be one of the worst booking decisions of 2023 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any company, like, just terrible. That'll be an awful decision.
Agreed.
And not for nothing, last year, two heels won in the Iron Survivor Challenge. Graceland Waller won the men's, and Tiffany won the women's. So, I mean, maybe they'll continue the tradition of two heels winning. And for the men's Iron Survivor Challenge to determine the number one contender for the NXT Championship, Dijak, Trick Williams, Josh Briggs, Braun Breaker, and Tyler Bate.
You would like to think Trick Williams, obviously, but there's going to be something that's going to play in with the storyline with Carmel. Something's going to happen in this match that's going to advance that story. Maybe Carmel actually takes out Trick Williams and go from there. It can't be Braun Breaker.
No.
Like, no. They've been buying time with him for the last 8 months with them, so it can't be Braun. So it really leaves Dijak, Tyler Bate, and Josh Briggs.
Go down.
Briggs is the wild card. Briggs is the wild card for sure, but I really think this match is more of a test of hey, are you gonna be that next singles guy, right? You know what I mean? In 2024. So I don't know if they're gonna actually put it on him, and if so, is that gonna cause even more? Well, not even more tension, but tension between Briggs and Jensen, because there was tension between Briggs and Jensen this year with the whole Kiana James storyline. So that leaves Dijak and Tyler Bate. I don't know about Tyler Bate. As much as I would love to see Tyler Bate and Dragunov, I don't know if they're going to do that match yet. Even though I was, saying my concerns with Dijak, I think that's possibly the most likely outcome. So I'm going to go with Dijak.
Right. I'm saying Dijak, and also mainly because before Baron got the match, Dijak was kind of starting his mini feud on the side with Dragunov. So Dragunov's going to be the next opponent. So I'm sorry, Dijak is going to be the next opponent for Dragunov.
Going to wrestle himself.
He's going to wrestle himself. And because the only person that can beat Dragunov is Dragunov. But yeah, I'm going to go Dijak. What do you think, Rube?
Yeah, Dijak. Like Braun Breaker, no. And Tyler Bate.
Braun Breaker winning is that basically that's like him going backwards at this point.
Yeah, like he needs to be in the main roster.
He's so far past NXT at this point.
Yeah, they gotta like figure out what to do with him on the main roster so they can call him up. But yeah, Dijak is like just a clear winner here. Tyler Bate, I would like Tyler Bate to win this, but I don't think they're gonna do Ilya and Tyler Bate like right away. Like they're gonna save that match. And Trick Williams, the story with Carmelo and him, like that's like, so he's not winning. I mean, it will be a shock. It will be a shock if he did win, but I do think Dijak he's definitely in the contention for me.
Right. So that was Deadline. We'll get to the news. Ken Shamrock apparently back with WWE. He's been signed to a Legends deal, allegedly. On Monday, WWEshop.com released new T-shirts for the UFC Hall of Famer. It's worth noting that while it's likely that Shamrock has come to terms on sort of a deal with WWE, it's possible that it may just be a Legends deal. So, I mean, still good. But, I mean, good to see Ken Shamrock back in the WWE on some form or fashion. Thanks, Mish. I mean, because for the longest time, it seemed like Shamrock was like persona non grata with WWE, which was weird because I remember he was on Chris Van Fleet on his podcast a while ago, and Van Fleet kind of asked him, why aren't you back? Like, why haven't you been invited back? And he's like, to be honest, I have no idea. I know there was kind of a rumor that Triple H wasn't crazy about him, but I guess that's not the case anymore. But good to see Ken Shamrock. The guy was, what can you say about him? He was crazy. He was insane. He was in the zone back in the Attitude Era. He was one of the biggest, stars of the Attitude Era. One of them. I didn't say the biggest. But overall, what do you guys think about Ken Shamrock possibly back with WWE in some form or fashion?
Well, I mean, he was already kind of back in a sense because he's had action figures made of him. He had an action figure that came out this year. Before this Legends, I think this deal is mostly for merchandise outside of action figures itself. So this is T-shirts. This is video games, so he's, a good chance for him to be in 2K, 24, or is it 25? I don't even know which one they're on right now, but anyway, regardless of that though, this is really for him to sign the deal so he can be put into the Hall of Fame, which is well deserved. So yeah, hopefully we get to see him on TV in some aspect, not wrestling or anything like that, but he doesn't need to, but, it'll be good for him to get his flowers, too, on television, because, he was the first ever UFC fighter ever to, join WWE, you know what I mean, so, before Ronda Rousey, before Brock went to UFC, it was Ken Shamrock. It was Ken Shamrock. It was fucking Dan Severn. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, I'm very, very happy for him. I'm glad that he's going to be getting his flowers now, and now WWE can fake tell like, oh my god, he was one of the best, one of the best stars ever, and people are going to overrate him, put him in their top 10 of all time, and you know how people do it. So,
oh yeah, I'm happy to see Ken. He was one of my favorites. The guy was legit. Him and C. Blackman, two of the most legit badasses back in the Attitude Era.
The Lethal Weapon.
The Lethal Weapon. There you go. The head cheese. This is only good news. So I'm happy to see him back. Maybe he'll be in the Hall of Fame this coming or next year. We'll see. Ruben, what do you think about Ken Shamrock possibly coming back?
Well, I'm excited. I'm happy that he's back. And listen, he was one of those namestays during the Attitude Era. And I think that him being back will definitely guarantee a Hall of Fame spot for sure. The dude's a beast. Like, I saw a montage that someone put out on Twitter. Well, X, formerly known as Twitter. And yeah, it was like the monster back in the day. Like, we had Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Ronda, Dan Severn, but Ken Shamrock, back in the the Attitude Era, like that was our version of Brock, and he's gonna get his flowers, good, as he should while he's still alive. I'm happy for him.
I just remember the spot with Ken Shamrock and Shawn Michaels where he has Michaels in the ankle lock, and the whole time Michaels is tapping out, but he has like the lollipop in his mouth.
Oh, good dick, Shawn. I love him.
Oh my god,
that's why Shawn Michaels is like one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's like top 2 for me because not the Shawn Michaels that we got back in 2008 and 2007. When he came back. My Shawn Michaels was fucking when he was being a fucking dick on fucking Somas. That's my Shawn Michaels.
You weren't a fan of Jesus Shawn Michaels?
I was obviously, but no, I'd like my Shawn Michaels to be a fucking dick asshole, I'm dropping that belt to that fat motherfucker. That's my Shawn Michaels right there.
The spot with Vader where he gets up and starts kicking him. Move out of the way, you fat piece of shit!
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking amazing.
Good times.
Oh, that was funny.
I guess we're done with that. So, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was on the Chris Van Fleet show. We've been talking awful lot about Chris Van Fleet tonight. Chris Jericho was on the Chris Van Fleet show and talked about how he doesn't understand the point of a Hall of Fame. He said, I always like going against the grain, like I loved it when Axl Rose didn't show up to the Hall of Fame, and sent a note saying, not only am I not showing up, but you're not allowed to say my name. I love that shit. That's fucking rock and roll, man. He continued, I don't really understand the point of a Hall of Fame. If you think I'm in it, that's great. There's no real Hall of Fame. It's kind of all in WWE's mind, in their chambers of the mind. And I mean, it doesn't really matter if I'm in it or not. You go up there and give some approved speech where you have 5 minutes to fucking encapsulate 33 years, because I was at the Hall of Fame when you had Hillbilly Jim talking for 45 minutes. Fucking hell, dude. You're on Saturday Night's Main Event once, you don't have a lot to say, nothing against Hillbilly Jim. Yeah, he's a cool guy. And he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And then you get to the freaking Undertaker, he gets 15 minutes. I'm not interested in that at this point. Like I said, it's not a disrespectful thing. It's just like I don't really see the benefits of it, and I kind of like doing the opposite of things. I mean, this guy did go on a rant 8 years ago, talking about how to not disrespect people at the Hall of Fame, but whatever. But what do you guys think about Jericho's comments here?
I mean, he didn't say anything controversial there. To me, I'm like, okay, yeah, there is a Hall of Fame, obviously, because it's how should I say, there's records of it, right? You know what I mean? It's not a physical place that they can go to, not yet at least, of a WWE Hall of Fame. But, just him, he's basically saying, well, what makes WWE the Hall of Fame? You know what I mean? There's the Call for Alley Club. No one talks about that. You know what I mean? Why isn't that the true Hall of Fame? At the end of the day, so I mean, in basketball, you have the Basketball Hall of Fame. The football, you got the Football Hall of Fame. But but wrestling, it's the WWE Hall of Fame, not the Wrestling Hall of Fame. So I don't know. And even with the Cauliflower Alley Club, that's biased too as well, because I mean, I don't see Stone Cold in there. I don't see The Rock in there. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just all politics at the end of the day. So, I mean, is it controversial what Jericho said? Yeah, maybe, but like, I'm not offended by it or nothing like that. So
it's not so much I'm offended or even really mad. It's just like Jericho says these things, and it's just like you can tell he's just like it's bitter ex-girlfriend syndrome. Like he goes out of his way to shit on the company. And it's
why would you be bitter? Why would you be bitter about WWE?
Because he knows damn well he has no chance in hell of ever going back.
No, no.
He's never going back because Vince isn't in charge. Vince was always a Jericho guy. Triple H is not.
So you never think that he will ever go back ever?
I mean, CM Punk came back, but I think
there you go.
I think in his mind he's just being a bitter bitch about WWE because he always went on record saying, "I'll never work for another North American company," against Vince McMahon. And then as soon as Tony Khan added that extra zero, he's like, "Oh, okay." So,
well, I mean, there was no. I mean, in theory, like Jericho wasn't gonna go to no fucking TNA. You know what I mean? Fucking like, I get what he's saying too, but it's like, it's the fucking wrestling business. Like, people lie all the fucking time. Like, he may just be lying about this and like, I'll never go back to WWE. He'll maybe back in the next, 5, 6, 7 years from now. Like, there's no way that Jericho will not be back in WWE in some fashion, in our lifetime. He's gonna be back in some fashion. So it may not be in the next 5 years. It may not be in the next 10 years. He will be back. Everybody goes back in some fashion.
It's just like I can't tell if he actually believes what he's saying. Because like you said, maybe he's lying, but it's just like sometimes it sounds like he really believes what he's saying, or if he's just working people.
I mean, like I said, I think what he said is there's really nothing controversial, but I don't really take it that serious either. So, I mean, at the same time as well, in that same interview, he said, "Hey, I say this all the time in AEW. I think everybody could use 6 months working for Vince McMahon." So there's that too. So
right. He said that, and I agree with him. And then he comes around and says it's about the Hall of Fame. It's just like he just kind of came off as a condescending dick in the whenever what he was saying, and then he starts talking shit about Hillbilly Jim. It's just like, what's the point of that, really? But Ruben, what are your thoughts about Jericho's comments?
The Hall of Fame comments. I mean, like Justin was saying, like when Jericho talks, if he says something that makes sense, I'd be like, cool, I agree, it makes sense. But a lot of times with Jericho, he tries like so hard to be controversial to the point that it just sounds, goofy and cartoony. And I say this as a Jericho fan. I grew up, we all grew up watching Jericho, big fan of his, but I don't know, ever since he's been in AEW, there's been this questionable, I mean, not say questionable stuff, but just idiotic stuff that he says, and a lot of times he tends to believe his own hype and what he's saying, and because he's not in WWE, he has to put down WWE. But then he says things like, hey, like, I think everyone here, AEW, could use 6 months to, we're working with Vince McMahon. And that I agree with, because, I mean, we've been talking about AEW ad nauseum, but he is right about that. But then he says stuff like this. It's like kind of bitter, but then again, he just talking just to talk. So I don't pay it in any mind. But, a lot of times he does sound bitter. He does come off as bitter. But me, with the Hall of Fame comments, like, who cares at the end of the day? All these Hall of Fames, they have their bit of bias in it. I mean, I would like to see a real wrestling Hall of Fame, like personally, but WWE is what we have.
Like, I'm pissed off. Like, I mean, like, Bam Bam Bigelow in it, but, like, should he be in it? Yeah, like, but...
Right.
You know, it's like, does it matter at the end of the day, really? You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Yeah. No. I definitely...
Right.
You make sense there. But yeah, when it comes to Jericho's comments, like with the Hall of Fame, and then, he says, a few profound things, and then he says just something asinine like this. And, a lot of times, it's just Jericho talking. I listen to what people say. Mm-hmm. You have the right to say what you say, but I'll still call you a retard. That's just me. There's a lot of instances where Chris Jericho just sounds like a retard, and I think it's because he's in AEW. If he was in WWE, he wouldn't be talking like this. Just being 1,000% straight up.
Right.
All right, moving on. WWE signs 14 athletes to the award-winning NIL program. Let's see. They signed two-time All-American Lucas Davidson from the University of Michigan and former Big 12 champion Stephen Buchanan from the University of Oklahoma. The class also includes WWE's first acrobatics athlete, Bailey Humphrey from Baylor University, first baseball player Adam Bigorst from Indiana State, and first male cheerleader Slane Glover from Ohio State. The fourth next in line class includes athletes from 14 different universities and 10 NCAA conferences. I think I already said Adam Bigorst, right? Did I say Adam Bigorst already?
I think.
Right, they don't have like a set list. Darcy Kahn from Howard, track and field. Desmond Coleman from Liberty, track and field. Grace Stevens from Monmouth, track and field. A lot of track and field people here. Jeremy Cody from Miami, again, track and field.
Next Bianca Belair.
Exactly. Josh Piercy from Rice, football player. Callie Terza from Kennesaw State. I have no idea where that is. Track and field. Already said Lucas Davidson. Mohamed Zahid from William and Mary. Football. I think I said Linton already. Skyla Schultz from Michigan State. Gymnastics. I already said Glover. I already said Buchanan. And yeah, that's everybody. So I don't know if you guys care to comment on that.
Cool. I don't know who these people are. I mean, it's good. It's good that they are still looking out for these athletes. These athletes want to give themselves a shot. Can't really, don't really know their background outside what they do. So I can't really say, like, what they're going to do in the wrestling world. You know what I mean? Or these guys are wrestling fans, you know what I mean? Like the other guys that came in, like, Jay Malachi and Brogan Finley, guys like that. Okay, we know, we have some background and we can go catch their footage and see what they're capable of. But these guys, like, okay, I could check out some football highlights, some track highlights. Oh, man, oh, my God. So I know these guys are going to be crazy athletic, but how's it going to translate into the ring? How's it going to translate into a character? Like, these guys may not even be relevant next year. It's got to be some time for them to become relevant, so.
Speaking of which, because I think I forgot to mention this on the NXT review, the NXT Breakout Tournament, I believe, is next week. The wrestlers announced for the tournament are Riley Osborne, Keanu Carter, Tavion Heights, Dion Lennox, Luca Crucifno, Miles Bourne, Trey Bearhill, and Obafemi. Mish, which one of those guys you said was was deaf? I think it was Tavion Heights, right?
Yeah, probably Tavion Heights. But, Obafemi is going to be a crowd favorite. He has a chance. Miles Bourne and I forgot the other guy, the lawyer guy.
Oh, he said Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne is the deaf guy.
Oh yeah, Miles Bourne. Yeah. He's with fucking He's with I was gonna say Dijak, but he's with. I can't even think right now. Philadelphia guy. Oh, guys, come on. They're on fucking NXT every week. Y'all guys can help me here at least.
You said Philadelphia guy?
Yeah, he's from Philly. He's been around forever.
Drew Gulak?
Yeah, Gulak. Yeah. He's with Gulak's crew. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, dope.
So, question, and I hate to sound like an ass. How would a deaf wrestler work? I mean, not as far as like promoting, but like an actual, like, if you're deaf and you're wrestling, like, how does that work? I know Don Reynolds saying by touch. White Chocolate saying cues.
Yeah, it's
visual.
It's a lot of times, like deaf wrestlers, or not deaf wrestlers, but just wrestlers in general, they don't really need to like say anything to each other. Now, eventually, like, it is gonna hurt him as far as his upside. Because, like, eventually he's, let's say he works a match with fucking Seth Rollins for the first time. Like, Seth is going to try to tell him something, he may not, he's obviously not going to hear it, so, you know what I mean? But, I don't know. Maybe that's something they work out backstage, or, like, how he wants to be communicated to, like, knuckle me once for a drop to hold, knuckle me twice for a scoop slam, I don't know.
I mean, wrestlers, obviously, since the beginning of time, when wrestling started, wrestlers communicate in the ring. Another way they do communicate is by touch. So, I mean, that could be a thing. I mean, I'm interested to see what the guy does. So, I like giving everybody a chance. So, I'm interested to see what the dude does. That's really all the news I have. What kind of news do you have, Justin?
Oh, man. Let's start off with this.
Bitch.
It's some AEW stuff here. Kevin Sullivan, the AEW Vice President of Post-Production, was let go by the company on, I think it was on Monday. There was a lot of questions going around regarding what happened past the feeling that the original AEW has changed greatly. So that was coming from Dave Meltzer, and obviously, basically the reason why this is a story, obviously, is because he obviously handles post-production, but there's a lot of frustration from the AEW talent backstage, and that the company's going a different direction as of right now. So really, it's not really about the firing of Kevin Sullivan. It's not the Taskmaster, by the way, guys. It's not the Taskmaster. It's not Nancy Benoit's ex-husband. Kevin Sullivan. Yeah. So,
well, he actually tweeted like legit. He goes, "I was not fired by AEW."
Yeah, but anyway, long story short, it's just causing the backstage morale to dip in AEW, since he was a guy back there who was very much so, very well liked, and whatnot. So, a lot of people are saying, AEW is changing, and, it's not changing for the better, this, that, and the other. So, question to you guys, how are you feel? Well, I kind of have an idea where this conversation is going to go. What do you think about, reportedly at least, that the backstage, the talent backstage is saying that, morale's not good at AEW, things have changed, and, like, what do you think the main cause of it is?
I mean, we've been kind of doing this dance for a while. I mean, it starts up top. What else can we say? It starts up top. I think also...
outside of that, I mean, we could yes, TwinCon.
Well, no, I'm getting to that.
But really,
Mish posted a GIF of CM Punk. Maybe the whole CM Punk thing kind of caused a riff, whether it be people who were for Punk and obviously people who were against Punk. So there's that. I also think maybe, low ticket sales and low attendance might be playing a part in that as well.
Yeah.
Because, it's got to kind of be a bummer if you're going out there and there's just like, half the, not even half, like below half.
It's getting scary bad, man. It's getting really scary bad. And not even at that, too. Like here in San Antonio, the tickets, from what I saw, it looks like they sold pretty well here. Right. From what I saw. But they're going to be in the AT&T Center, too. Oh, yeah. I think it's the first time in the AT&T Center, so it's like, ugh, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. But
that's going to be no bueno. They were able to fill up the Freeman Coliseum when I went. Yeah. So, but
you can put a fucking, cat and dog show on the Freeman and it'll fill up.
Just kind of everything I just mentioned outside of Tony Khan and just, I know this is kind of skipping ahead. I imagine we're going to talk about the Danielson thing pretty soon, but I think outside of that, just CM Punk ruined the company, whether it be, for the worse or better. It kind of looks like it was for the worse. Because you did have people that like CM Punk. You had people that are on the camp. You look at Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, had a story, saying, I give my flowers to Punk. I think Thunder Rosa said the same thing. Britt Baker said the same thing. Speaking of Britt Baker, you see her sharing, putting up tweets saying, I'm getting no promo time. MJF is getting more promo time than me. Christian Cage is getting more promo time with me. As far as I can, and again, I Britt Baker, I could give two fucks about her, but once upon a time she was the Golden Girl, and now she's kind of nowhere to be seen. And is she hurt? Do you know, Justin?
I haven't heard anything.
So lots going on in this company, and not so good stuff. But Ruben, thoughts on everything going on with the backstage environment of AEW?
It's not to anyone's surprise that the morale in AEW has been low, considering everything that's been going on. And again, it starts at the top, and just the fact that TK at the end of the day, it's he is the head person in charge, and he should be making decisions to keep the company afloat and just to keep making the company prosperous. But everything has been dealing, his dealings with CM Punk and then the Elite, and then just putting on way too many hats in this company. It's really, it's really showing the cracks with AEW, and it just doesn't help. Again, especially with the whole CM Punk fiasco. And I've said this ad nauseum. This all could have been, prevented, long ago, but he didn't. He, put people in front of him to take the blame, to absorb the blows, rather than making those tough decisions and sticking by them. And now we're seeing people just wanting just out. They want to leave AEW. They're not getting booked. They're not being used. And again, the honeymoon phase is over, unfortunately. And things have to change, but I hope they change for the better. That's just me. But I think things are gonna get worse because, again, people are unhappy, and then what happens when people get unhappy? You're gonna start seeing more of that spew out onto social media and on the product. So, and I've said this so many times. I believe last week I brought it up about the issues with AEW, and I'm sure you guys have at length. But again, it all comes down to Tony Khan and not doing his job. The fact that they put Daniel Bryan, from the firing squad on social media, claiming that he fired CM Punk when that wasn't the case. It just goes to show that Tony Khan.
Tony Khan is deflecting from what he actually did. Yeah.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, he had final say on all this, and he could have prevented all this if he would have had Hangman and CM Punk and had them in the back, talk to them, say, yo, this was gonna do, you guys squash it or I will. He didn't do that. And we see, because of that one event, it sprinkled onto and then bloomed into other events, and here we are now. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and it's a very, very nasty black eye to AEW and all the other issues too. Like it's a mess. It's really a mess. I don't know what else I can say, but they better tighten up their ship, because end of the day, and I said this is about running a business. This is not about making friends. We're here as a business. You're here to make money, not friends. Once money has been made, okay, be friends, chill, have a drink of whiskey, whatever, or you don't drink whiskey, bourbon, whatever, or pop soda, whatever. But you conduct business first. At the end of the day, you conduct business first. You show up to work, conduct business with people that you may or may not like, and after that, once it's done, then we can talk about hanging out, being buddy-buddy, but you gotta conduct business first. And they're not doing it. Everyone, not everyone, but key people in there, especially Tony Khan, are worried about being liked, and that is the worst thing you can do, is worry about being liked at the end of the day. But that's what I got.
So, kind of to add to that, what came out, I think it was yesterday, that AEW stars are now starting to get fined for what they're saying on social media.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, so obviously that's a Tony Khan decision. I like that because of the fact that it seems like he's gonna start holding some of these wrestlers more accountable of what they do and say on social media. So.
Yeah, and Bryan Danielson, he's the one handing out the fines. So
yeah,
which good, because at a place of business, you're not supposed to be bad mouthing your company or bad mouthing other coworkers on your on company time, or just not even on company time in general. For example, story time. This is a story time about something that happened to me. I used to work at a certain place, at a certain theme park, which I will not mention on here, and me being an idiot, out of anger, decided to post on the company's Facebook page about something that I was not happy about. And the very next day, the higher ups came to talk to me about it. So I didn't get fired, didn't get in trouble. I just got talking to. So at the end of the day, the wrestling business is a business, and I'm glad to hear that Bryan Danielson and also. And also Tony Khan's just like, we need to take steps into kind of improving not just morale, but like we need to treat this company like a business, and we need to stop letting the inmates run the asylum, because for the longest time that's always been the notion of the AEW locker room, is that the inmates are running the asylum. And Bryan Danielson's like, nope, not dealing with that bullshit anymore. So I'm glad to hear that's happening.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy for that. Again, just if you're unhappy, don't put out that you're unhappy and bad mouthing the company on social media, because regardless how you feel, you work there. Just ride your contract out, and once you're out, okay. But for the time being, while you're there, don't badmouth the company. Like, you have to have a level of professionalism, regardless. And at least, with Danielson there's that level of professionalism is much needed. Because again, inmates are running the asylum. That's been the meme of AEW, and what's lacking in that company is structure. I think it's too loose. There's too much freedom in there. You need creative freedom. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm implying, but you do need creative freedom. But when things are too loose, this is what tends to happen there. So this is a step in the right direction for sure.
Let me ask you something, because Mish in the chat room pointed this out. He also talked about it with Joe Numbers on the Soup. Wrestling Soup, every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Him and Joe were talking about it, that would you give Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, real power in the company?
I mean, sounds like he does already.
I'm saying, like, let's say, kind of like in WWE, for example, like what Triple H and Vince are doing. Like, Vince is more on the business side of things, and Triple H is running the show. Like, would you kind of give that power to Bryan Danielson?
But he already does already. That's what I'm saying. He does already. Like, Tony Khan even said himself, like, if something were to happen to me, or if I can't be at fucking Diamond for a reason, Bryan Danielson's in charge.
Okay.
So, essentially, he already has that already. It may not be that prevalent, or it may not be that he may not have a ton of control, but he does have some control in some fashion. So, he already has that already.
I'm not talking about essentially. I'm talking about, like, officially.
Like an actual title, like basically Bryan Danielson being given an official title.
Like, kind of like what Justin just said, because, like, you got the Bucks and Omega that are still CEOs for some reason. But, like, yeah, just like, when Tony's not available, or if Tony just wants to run the business side of things, just leave Bryan in charge.
So have him be in charge, like, of creative, you're saying?
Creative and just, like, everything else that Tony can't do.
It's the wrestling aspect of things, because, again, like I mentioned earlier, Tony has way too many hats on. Right. He wears too many hats in the company, and that is one of the main issues with AEW, is that one man is basically running everything, and it's way too much. You got, Dynamite, you got Collision, you got Rampage, you got ROH, all the talent, from, both sides, from AEW and ROH. So many things you got to worry about, so many moving parts. But if you have someone or a team to handle things on the wrestling aspect of the business, and Tony Khan handles all the, the deal making, all the admin, legislative, all the corporate stuff, I think that you'll see AEW like gel better. But I think Bryan Danielson being given power, I don't see that being a bad thing, because
I'll say this:
yeah.
no wrestler who is on TV, no matter what their intentions are, should have power.
True.
Mm-hmm. I don't care who it is.
True, 100%. I think if Bryan was like retired,
yes,
from wrestling, 100% retired,
which might happen soon. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's happening very soon. That's why I brought it up. But if when he retires, and it's sooner rather than later, I think he should be the one to be given power. For behind the scenes, because if he's active wrestling and has that power, we complain, and rightfully so. The Bucks, Omega and Hangman being given, EVP status, and they're active wrestlers. So there's a conflict of interest right there. So I think if Danielson, once he retires, I think he'll be a good fit. And still to this day, the elite being EVPs is just a big red flag and a big conflict of interest. So that's one thing they gotta, Tony has to straighten up, is that with the EVP status. Like, you're either wrestling or you're EVP. You can't do both. So that's something that Tony Khan has to rectify right there.
I'll say this: whenever Danielson retires, and he wants to be in a backstage role of some aspect, like a coach or or a part creative. I don't see that being in AEW.
No.
I can totally see him being in WWE doing something like that.
He's going back to WWE like sooner. I mean, obviously not now because he's on a contract, but yeah, I agree. He's going back to WWE, and he'll be, part of creative producer. I can see him wanting to coach, but I don't want to. I'd rather have his brain intact to help the show. As morbid as that sounds, but I don't know. I love Bryan Danielson. I adore the guy. I still want him to be a part of wrestling. Honestly, at this point, I don't want to see him really be physically in wrestling because
he got injured again during the collision tapings. So
yeah, it was fucking sucks. But just go ahead.
Some people are saying that it's part of an angle.
I don't know. Well, I'll have to catch that on Collision then, but I don't know. We'll see. I haven't heard any news that it is or isn't an angle, so
yeah,
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
All right. Next, staying on AEW. This is a short conversation, but Kyle O'Reilly has been backstage at AEW recently and is looking like he could return to programming after a period of it looking quite unlikely. That is coming from Mr. Sean Ross Sapp in Fightful Select. I'm going to ask the direct question here. Did anyone see AEW last night?
I was at the movies last night, so no.
Okay.
Nope.
Ruben? Okay, well. I'll just say there was a guy that there was the devil's mask people came out, and there was a guy that was kind of moving like Kyle O'Reilly. I'll just say that. But so with Kyle O'Reilly coming back, like, where do you see him possibly being? Obviously there's obvious answers with that, and yeah, let's just open that conversation here. Where do you see Kyle O'Reilly being on AEW TV once he comes back to TV?
He's going to be in a group. Because, again, I like Kyle O'Reilly, but Kyle O'Reilly's not a star. He works better in a tag team or a group, so he's more than likely going to be in a group.
He's not a single star, you want to say?
He's not a star. In general. I mean, again, good wrestler. I like him, personally. I don't see him as a star. But
if you're on TV, you're a star of some fashion.
Debatable.
I'm just saying. Like, you will see him on the street, and you'll like, oh, that's Kyle O'Reilly. I know him.
Okay.
You'd be like, hey, I know that. Hey, that's Kyle O'Reilly. I know that guy right there.
If you didn't know who Kyle O'Reilly was and you saw him at the airport, what would you think? What would be your first thought?
I wouldn't think of anything on, but what would you think of Braun Breaker? Would you say like, oh my god, that's a big dude there?
Yeah, exactly. And again,
my point is, no. My point is that you can't use that there because, like, okay, I see Braun Breaker. It's like, that's a big dude there. Oh my god, he must work out. So every big dude I see, I must think that he must be a star of some type on television or whatnot.
No, not exactly. That is more just like when you see a big jack dude, you're like, oh, he's probably something. When you see Kyle O'Reilly on the street, you're like,
no. Just big jack dudes that go to fucking LA Fitness that fucking work at fucking Subway. Like, come on. Like, you can't just.
I said probably.
Okay, Carmelo Hayes, right? Nice and fit, right? But, like, would you think, like, oh, man, oh, my God, he must be a music artist or something like that? You wouldn't think that. They'd just be like, oh, man, this guy's in shape, man. You can't go with that. In my opinion, at least, you can't just go with that narrative.
Again, I like Kyle O'Reilly. I was very adamant. It says, I do like Kyle O'Reilly. I like him. I like his work. But, like, again, he works better in a group. He's not that interesting on his own. My opinion. Just my opinion.
He's a tag team star.
Agreed. I agree with you. We're agreeing.
Oh no, because you said that he wasn't a star. I was like, oh, maybe he's a tag team.
I said he's okay. Not a single star. Okay, let me reiterate what you just said.
All right,
not a single star. He's not a singles. Right. He's not a singles guy. He works better in a tag team. Or
I feel a lot better now.
Okay, I'm glad you feel better because I feel better. Oh man, Ruben, you have anything to add to this scintillating conversation?
He'll be back in a group or in the faction, like obviously with the double. Like the only thing I say is that, you know, regarding Kyle O'Reilly, if he's a star or not, I mean, we know him, we know of him. So there's some star power, but as far as like a big major star, like main event talent world,
no, definitely not.
Contender, no, absolutely not, 100% not.
No.
But also, if there's no way, like with this double storyline, that it isn't Adam Cole. If it's someone else other than Adam Cole, like oof. That's all I'm gonna say.
Who else would you think? Because I agree, 100%. I think Adam Cole has to be the devil. Who else would you think possibly could be the devil? Whether if you want him or not, who else do you think could possibly be the devil?
Wardlow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, last week there was that big jack dude in the mask, and then you saw Wardlow like having, you know, hair that looks like he just took a mask off. So.
Yeah, that's very true. Wardlow, yeah, I definitely wouldn't give a shit, but yeah, I agree.
I mean, Adam Page, because the MJF being taken out by a beer bottle, it was like right there.
Man, they're treating like because that was last night, but man, they're treating MJF right now like a fucking loser, man.
Yep,
it is. Like I get it because he's injured right now. I get it, but it's like God, man. It's like they're really making him look stupid right now. So, Rampage though, is better than Wardlow and is better than like someone like Kyle O'Reilly being the devil.
Yeah. Yeah,
but it has to be Adam Page. Now I'll throw a name out there for you. I'm pretty sure you guys may have heard this name being a possible devil. What about Jungle Boy, Jack Perry?
Oh God, if he is the double, like AEW is done. I'm sorry. Like this big storyline that you've been doing, signing up for for months. If that's the payoff, oof. I mean,
so would he be the worst out of all the names? Would he be worse than Kyle O'Reilly? Would he be worse than Wardlow? Will he be like the worst possible decision to be the devil?
It'll be funny because it just doesn't fit. It has to be someone that's like someone credible, someone that will make sense storyline wise for being the double. Jack Perry hasn't been on TV. He's been suspended after the whole incident backstage and All In. But it's like no one believes him as being a heel, let alone being the double. I mean, I will laugh just for the LOLs. I hope that he's the double, but for just continuity's sake, it has to be Adam Cole. It has to be. It just makes sense. But I don't know who else it could be. It's not Britt Baker. It's not Dolph Ziggler. It's not Mustafa.
It's nobody from WWE.
No, it's no one from WWE. Wardlow, no. And him, he needs to get out of that company. Like he is just been start stop with him. And also as far as MJF, I've been asking that same question, or just noticing that ever since he turned babyface, he hasn't been the same. I watched back his pipe bomb promo where he called Tony Khan a fucking mark, and I'm just like, damn, what happened to this? What happened to this MJF? The chip on his shoulder. But money talks, and when you're given a big blank check. That chip ain't so big anymore. And he's still great, but the booking hasn't been doing him any favors, and it's just like, damn, just what is this? What is this? Like, this MJF is different from the MJF, a year ago. Even 2 years ago. It's just not the same. It's just not hitting.
What if it was Prince Nana?
I'll mark that. Hey, you know what? If it's Prince Nana, man, I'll be like, okay, this is fucking stupid, but I'm all for it at this point. And all you see him is he's in a dumbass. He starts doing the swerve dance, coming down to the ring. Now, who else would be like a very random name? We'll close with this on this topic here, but. Who was one very random name that could be the devil? Like someone that's like completely off the page, off the radar. It's just this like, I don't think he's the devil, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan wants to make him the devil.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. You know what? I thought you were gonna say Tony Khan.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's me, Austin. It's me, MJF.
It's me, Max. You shouldn't have called me a fucking mark. You hurt my feelings.
Didn't you have fucking Jim Ross on commentary says, "Ah, son of a bitch." Well, mark out for that, actually. for one night, I will mark out for that. Yes, me, MJF. Oh, son of a bitch.
Tony Khan is a no good son of a bitch.
Oh man, that's hilarious though. Okay.
Britt Baker, that would be really random.
Oh God.
Britt Baker,
insane.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
I mean,
I've been the devil the whole time.
I mean, that's not realistic, but
I invented hell, brother.
I got one. This is a name that it's like a less than 5% chance. I do not want to see this. But I think it's a possibility. What about Kenny Omega? I don't want to see it. I'm just saying, that could be a possibility.
I don't want to see it either, but then I kind of want to see it again because I'm an agent of chaos, so I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yeah.
That'd be out of left field.
Yeah, it would be. That's why I said it. So anyway, we're probably not gonna find out who the devil is until the pay-per-view there. So end of the world or World Worlds, whatever the fuck it's called. Next, got some free agent news here. Actually, these next two stories is free agent news here, but Kazuchika Okada. I think we all like Okada to a certain extent here. But he's set to become a free agent in 2024. Okada's contract expires at the end of January, while a new deal with New Japan will typically be underway. Okada is seriously entertaining the possibility of wrestling for a different promotion that is coming from Sports Illustrated. Also add to this as well, WWE obviously wants Okada. They want Okada for how many years, but they do believe that there's maybe a chance of getting him now than before. Okay, I don't like how that was worded. And of course, it's Dave Meltzer that says it because he words shit weird. Kazuchika Okada, so he doesn't have the IWGP Championship right now. He's gonna wrestle Danielson at Wrestle Kingdom on the 4th of January. Then, depending on what happens after that, he may be ending with New Japan. Okada is, I think he's 34 or 36. Yeah, he's 36. He's 36 years old. So, he's in his prime right now. What do y'all think about Kazuchika Okada? What do you think he's gonna end up doing, possibly?
Again, you already know my answer. He needs to go to WWE. He has to look at what's going on in AEW and go, what the fuck? Because, I mean, and I talked about this with RJ on our Patreon show. A lot of his friends are mainly in WWE. I mean, he's tight with Nakamura. He's tight with Finn. There's another name I'm blanking on. AJ, there you go. Like, he has more friends in WWE than AEW. So,
does he have to go to WWE, though?
I think he should. I totally think he should.
I mean, I would love for him to. I want him in WWE. I don't think he has to go to WWE.
He has to look at what's going on in AEW and go, what the fuck? Like,
he doesn't need to go to AEW. He could just stay in New Japan.
I mean, yeah, he can do that too. Whatever makes him happy. But it's just like, again, personal opinion, whether I'm biased or not. I just think he should go to WWE.
Okay. I mean, I would love for him to be in WWE. Like, it's like, forget about it. I mean, you already say him versus AJ, him versus Nakamura, him and Nakamura having a faction together. Just him versus Gunther. Like, Nakamura, Okada versus Gunther? Like, what the fuck, man? Holy fucking shit, take my money. You know what I mean? Okada versus Roman, Okada versus Seth, Okada versus Punk, Okada versus Ricochet. You know what I mean? Because Ricochet and Okada were in the same faction with each other in Chaos for a little bit. So it's like, man, it's yeah. I would love Okada in WWE, but. Ruben, I'll let you speak about that. What do you think about Okada? What do you think he's going to end up being in 2024?
I mean, I would love for him to go to WWE, considering just it's a new pond, and like Drew mentioned, a lot of his friends are over there in WWE, and with AEW, it will like. I could see him go to AEW, but I don't know if it'll be a good fit because it's like the safe option. And sometimes you do need to, take a calculated risk, go to where you might feel uncomfortable in the sense that to further your career, see what you can do. Because if you just go AEW, you have that bridge to go to, to be with New Japan. So I can see him going to AEW, so he can still have that bridge between New Japan.
Right.
I think that he should go to WWE and be like that special attraction, because WWE does need one or two more big attraction names, not to be on TV every week, but just to have. I mean, imagine Okada at a WrestleMania. Like,
oh my God,
that'll be insane. And I've seen him perform at the Garden when they had that ROH in Japan show, and I was there live and seeing him perform. I was like, dude, this first time seeing him perform, and he went against Jay White, I believe. Yeah, it was against Jay White.
Jay White. Well, wasn't it? He won the title back from Jay White.
Yeah, he won the title back from Jay White. Yeah. I like, and back then I was like, yo, what if he goes to WWE? That would be, back then, because of the different leadership. But I think now, with Triple H especially being at the helm, I think that it could fit Okada to go to WWE and be in the main roster. It doesn't need to go to NXT because he'll be a orca whale in a little pond. So I think him going to the main roster is the only way, and having him be a special attraction, for big pay-per-views, the Manias, the Rumbles, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, etc. And I mean, wherever he decides to go, again, it's up to him. But for all of us, we can agree that him being in WWE will be like we will love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So to kind of add to this here, so AEW is, I will say, possibly the most realistic option between him and WWE. Not saying I want him to go over there. What I am saying is it's the more realistic option. To your point, Ruben, is that the open communication and the open relationship with AEW and New Japan. But also as well, and I'm not too sure if you know about this particular detail here, is that his wife is a Japanese like voice actress or actress of some sort.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So that meaning that they're gonna move to America, but like she's a Japanese actress though. So like, how is that gonna work? Like, could she work? If she's just like a voice actress, could she work? Through remotely, could she do that? In America, you know what I mean? So yeah. I think if he were to go AEW, it'll be the same thing. Well, with Will Ospreay, Will Ospreay didn't have to move from, the United Kingdom. Maybe Okada doesn't need to move from Japan. He can stay in Japan, and whenever Tony Khan needs him, he can bring him on over. But if it's not an issue, and if he's open to moving. If Okada's open to moving, then I think that opens up the chance for WWE at that point, because it's like, okay, he's moving anyway. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But I think if WWE were to bring in Okada, I think he deserves the treatment of, and if it's the thing of like, hey, well, my wife, she's a voice actress, and she may need to go to Japan sometimes, this, that, and the other, but like, or bring her on the road with you, man. Bring her on the road with you. Maybe they'll give him a fucking bus or some shit. You know what I mean? I think Okada's that big of a star that WWE may want to give that to him, trying to bring him in. So I don't know, but very interesting there on Okada. Any closing thoughts with Okada before we move on?
No.
And I'll say this with his wife. Yeah, like what what Mish was saying. Voice acting is well renowned, and what you got to do is have a mobile studio. To do the voice acting. They could have their house here in the States be retrofitted. For like a studio to do voiceovers and things like that. Yeah. So it's definitely doable. And I get it, just uprooting your life, moving from Japan to to the States. It's easier said than done. Like, I couldn't imagine, the amount of like logistics and stress that will take. But if
really look at Nakamura,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that wasn't an easy decision.
Yeah, and definitely that could be a thing to accommodate his wife and doing the voice acting. It's very doable, but it all depends on how how things go if he does decide to make the jump. Because again, it will be cool to see Okada in WWE and here in the States, and he can get that exposure. Because regardless, WWE is the biggest game in town, and he will definitely get that exposure, and him on WrestleMania, and just him on WrestleMania, everyone, no matter who you are, where you're at, will love to be on the WrestleMania card. So I think him going to WWE, it will be for that, to get on that WrestleMania card for sure.
Yeah, I think if he does move to America, I think it really opens the chances for WWE.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of Okada, he's gonna be in TNA. He's gonna be in TNA on January 14th for the Snake Eyes show. So he's returning to TNA. So on that show already is Will Ospreay. So it looks like TNA. They're going to be TNA in the next, 25 days from now. 25 days from now, they'll be TNA again. And looks like they're one of their first shows. They're going to bring back Will Ospreay. They're going to bring back Okada. So pretty interesting there. So, but moving on though. to another contract story here. Deonna Purrazzo, an Impact. She doesn't have an extension with Impact right now. She plans to explore free agency. That's coming from Sean Wells Sapp and Fightful Select. This just came out earlier today that Deonna Purrazzo is going to be a free agent. So, what do you guys think about that? Deonna Purrazzo, who has stints with the WWE, 2 stints to be exact with WWE prior, and she had I won't say a cup of coffee in AEW, but like she, had a match or 2 in AEW too. So it's really those 2 companies that it comes down to for her, or maybe to Japan, maybe she'll go to Stardom, but Deonna Purrazzo, where do you see her going, landing, and where do you what do you think?
It wouldn't surprise me if she stuck with TNA, because that almost seems like the best move for her. I would say go to AEW, but it's just like, it wouldn't surprise me if she went to AEW. I don't know if she has like friends there, but Mish is saying, do you think she might go to Lufisto's promotion? Okay. No. But
she's looking to make money at this point.
Right. I have a feeling that she might end up staying with TNA. That's just my opinion. I think she likes it there, and they treat her like a big deal. So yeah. And the roster in WWE is too stacked as far as like the women goes. I think she'd get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, she is friends with Britt Baker. She is friends with Chelsea Green. So, do with that, whatever with that information as you want to. So, Ruben, what do you think?
Yeah, I think she stays with Impact. Well, now TNA. It'll be TNA in a couple of weeks. I think it makes the most sense for her to stay in TNA, because then it give her that bridge to go to other promotions, like Lufisto's promotion too. That could be a thing. But yeah, I just don't see her in WWE. She'll get lost in the shuffle there. Either in the main roster, and possibly, NXT. I don't know. I mean, she could go there, but I don't know.
I think she's too big for NXT already.
Yeah, like it's just like big fish, small pond, and AEW again. Like they haven't booked the women's division like consistently. They still have a lot of work to do. So her best bet is to just stay in TNA until just stay for another few years. I could see her going to WWE, a couple of years, like not right now, but definitely in a couple of years.
Do you think that with her relationship with Chelsea Green, and how Chelsea is, she's like a mainstay on the roster right now, do you think that there is a chance in some aspect that she can go to WWE and team with Chelsea and automatically get that that credibility automatically?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. That could be a thing, since they're they're really tight. I can see that being a thing for sure. Yeah. That could be a window for her to get in, to be a tag team. I think her and Piper Niven are gonna break up. So that
after they lose the tag team house, I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility right there. So hey, again, so many the options out there. She can go anywhere, and there's definitely plans right there, just laid out if she decides to go to WWE. So yeah, I mean, wherever she decides to go, like it'll be her decision, whatever fits her situation. But yeah, like Impact, but again, that bridge there to WWE is a thing, and there's a storyline right there.
Yeah.
So hell, who knows?
So I think that she's gonna stay in Impact. That's like my official prediction. I think she may end up staying in Impact. I mean, but she's super young and she may get a big money offer. Now, if she were to leave Impact, I think that the most likely scenario for her is to land in AEW. Even though I don't think it'll be great for her creatively, but I just think that that's possibly the most realistic thing. So, all right. So moving on, I got 2 more things here, and I'm done. Surprised didn't bring this up during the NXT deadline predictions, but there was word at the NXT this past Tuesday's taping that Cora Jade is expected to be at deadline this weekend. That was coming from PW Insider. So quick little question here: do you expect to see Cora Jade back this weekend?
If she does, it'll be to fuck with Roxy. But honestly, I don't care.
No,
definitely a possibility.
Yeah,
definitely a possibility there.
Yeah, she may end up fucking over Roxanne. So, but she's been gone forever though. So I hope all's good with her because I've heard some things that with her. So hopefully everything's okay. All right. Last but not least here, there's not really a news story, but it's the end of an era, and we'll just talk about this real quick, and we'll end it here. So there's gonna be no more WWE physical media. DVDs, Blu-rays, VHSs are gone. This came from WWE Home Video UK. It says, with great sadness, we must announce that WWE has taken the decision to withdraw from the home video category. No licensing deals will be renewed worldwide after 2023. This means the very last WWE home video release from Fremantle will be Crown Jewel 2023 2-disc DVD on the 18th of December and the 22nd of December. WWE has been releasing VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray for 36 years. The last 11 years through Fremantle in Europe. But this will come to an end on December 31st, 2023. And with no further WWE DVD or Blu-ray stock manufactured. Everyone at WWE Video UK would like to thank all of our collectors and fans for many years of support and passion. So, yeah, no more physical media. That sucks. That's an error. Just real quick, what would y'all say is y'all's favorite DVD or VHS that you've ever gotten?
As far as wrestling goes?
Well, no, I'm talking about comedies.
Okay. Comedies would be The Shining. That was funny as shit. No, wrestling, my favorite VHS was Best of Bash at the Beach.
Oh, okay.
That was fun. I got that for Christmas,
nice,
in '98, I believe.
Okay.
And then DVD would be The Best of the Ladder Match, Volume 1.
I think I have that here. Yeah, that's cool. You, Ruben?
I haven't owned any like physical wrestling media since the '90s, and those were my cousins.
Well, anyone that you kind of not necessarily own, but just that you remember watching and seeing.
Oh, WrestleMania 17.
Nice. Oh man, that DVD goes for a shit ton of money nowadays.
Yeah, that man. If my cousin knew, if only he knew.
Yeah,
oh, man, because I know those go for a pretty penny, and even non-wrestling media from back in the day, they on eBay they're going for pretty good rates. So
I'm seeing right now that the 2-disc WrestleMania DVD is going for $100 right now.
Wow.
It's a ton of fucking money. I'm seeing some for $151. Yeah, so
Anyway, just kind of right up the alley of certain trilogy collection for the Wii, Metroid Prime trilogy.
yeah.
Like the cheapest one I found was like $100. That was the cheapest. Like most of them were going for like double that.
But the funny thing is like those, like I get it because they had the Wii controls, but like they were Well, no, Metroid Prime 1 was Metroid Prime 2 GameCube as well. And the Metroid Prime 3 was the Wii.
Yeah. 1 and 2 were on the GameCube, and 3 was on the Wii.
On the Wii, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
because I had the original Metroid Prime.
Okay.
On the GameCube, and that was like, God, man, I love that game so much, man. But anyway,
yeah. I got all the versions. I got all the versions. I even got the remaster for the Switch. So
yeah. Off topic. Well, we're already off topic, but what's your favorite Metroid game?
Oof. Good question. 2D. Definitely, like overall Metroid Fusion 2D.
I knew it. I know it. Fusion's great.
Yeah. And then 3D. I'm still gonna have to go just Metroid Prime, the original Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime, yeah. On Super Metroid for me.
Yeah.
Obviously it started like the whole speedrun like community pretty much. Then yeah, I'll probably agree Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime, yeah.
Which I need to stream again. I definitely need to stream that. Like, definitely.
Yeah. Drew, have you played any of the Metroid games?
I have. I never beaten any of them. One of the Metroid games that was for Game Boy Advance. I'm forgetting which one that was.
Fusion?
Might have been Fusion, yeah. And then I got the one on Switch, which was like the remastered version from GameCube.
Prime.
That was all.
Yeah, Metroid Prime Remastered, yeah.
There you go. I haven't played the new one yet. But yeah, like Metroid's one of those games, like it looks cool. It's just like it's a game that I just for some reason couldn't really like not necessarily get into.
Like devote your time to.
I think it's that, and also I think it's just like I have so many games that I haven't really played or just haven't finished that it's just like, okay, I'm gonna put this on the back burner for a second.
Right.
So,
really quick, Dread is really good. I like that brought a lot of people into the Metroid franchise, and that got like friends of mine that never touched a Metroid game. They played it, and then they went and played the other Metroid games. So like that game really helped the franchise, and it sold pretty well, which I'm glad. Like I brought the game 3 times. I brought the physical, brought the standard, and I brought the special edition. And I brought the special edition while streaming on release night Metroid Dread. So like, hardcore. I'm hardcore when it comes to that. But yeah, like that Dread is really good. Overall, I mean, yeah, like nitpick aside, like it's still a good game. Like top to bottom, still a good game.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, getting back into the home video, my favorite DVDs, I'll just say that Rise and Fall ECW, Rise and Fall of WCW, by far.
Nice.
Those documentaries are timeless. Love them.
Good choice. Yeah.
It just like I used to fall asleep to them. Like you know what I mean? Like I used to put them on rotation. Put one on one night, one the next night. Just and behind that, I like the history of the World Heavyweight Championship as well. I thought that was a good one too. So. But a lot of them, they're not on like the network. Like they used to have like the World's Greatest Tag Teams, or Allied Power's World's Greatest Tag Teams. Like they don't have that on the network. So a lot of these are like not even on the network, which is kind of sad. So I'm glad I still have mine. I'm not selling mine at all. Even though I own a fucking wrestling shop, those are like my prized possessions. Like I even have the anthology collections of like the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. So I have those as well. I'm not really gonna sell those either, even though I could just watch them on the network. They just hold a special place in my heart. So yeah. All right. Well, that is it for me.
All right. I know I mentioned I was gonna do the Hulk Hogan thing, but it's already 2.5 hours and it's getting close to midnight, so I might have to save that for another show. But that's pretty much the show, people. And I want to thank both of the gentlemen on this show for being on the show. Justin, as always, it's always a pleasure having you on.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Ruben Prime, thank you for coming back on.
Of course. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Where you can find us, you already know where to find me, X, Twitter, wherever you want to call it, unfortunately. I have an Instagram account. It's more of a personal Instagram account. So if you want to send me a friend request, cool, but if I don't know who you are, I'm probably not going to accept it. So just let me know if you're going to send it. And then a Facebook page, which I don't really go on too much, which I probably should. And then I have a YouTube channel, which you can listen to the show on there. You can also watch past videos. I used to do a lot of reaction videos. I don't do it anymore. I might start doing that more, but I need better equipment, i.e. a better camera, or just a camera in general. And then the Patreon. The Patreon is only $5 a month. I do 3 different shows with 3 different people. Fix up your phone. What do you mean, fix up my phone?
Yeah, I was gonna say you can go get a webcam on fucking Amazon for like $10.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll look into
it. It's like a 1080 webcam. You don't need anything like extraordinary. Like the thing that matters that a lot of people don't understand, recognize is lighting. Lighting has to be good.
Yeah,
like the webcam, you don't even need it doesn't need to be on 4K. It doesn't even need to be 1080p, really. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you can get a webcam for like $10 on Amazon.
I can send you. I have a webcam.
Ooh.
I could send you if you want.
I am definitely interested. I'll text you after this. And then the Patreon, $5 a month. I do a show with Mr. Ruben Prime here. It's called Culture Attack, and we just put out a new episode. I just posted it. I need to post it on social media, but yeah, it's already up. And then I do a show with RJ. That's already up. We did one yesterday, I believe. So it's just us talking about the news, specifically comic book news, comic book movie news. And then I do a show with Jeff Lippman, which that's usually a month. That's usually a monthly show. And what else? Oh yeah, so year-end show. This year we usually do a year-end show. It's going to be on the 27th on a Wednesday, like usual. So it's just me and Justin talking about our favorite and least favorite things of the year, specifically about wrestling, whether it be favorite male wrestler, favorite female wrestler, favorite match, least favorite match. And then we're also going to be doing the Q&A. So it's going to be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's everything. But yeah, that's enough about me. What about you, Justin? Where can they find you?
Before get into that real quick, just Baldur's Gate 1 video game of the year, by the way, apparently. So Baldur's Gate 3. But anyway, yeah, follow me on not Twitter, just kidding. Follow me on Instagram, Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Yeah, you can find me on there. I have my Whatnot link in my bio on Instagram. So if you're looking for figures or anything, it's on there. I haven't really promoted it yet because I'm still like getting inventory up. But once I get enough inventory up and I feel comfortable, I'll start promoting it on my Instagram though. But yeah, yeah, definitely check out the Instagram and also spinebustertees.com. Definitely check that out too as well. Got t-shirts galore on the website as well that you guys can get shipped out to you. Actually had a couple people bought a few shirts this past week. So if you're having to listen to the show, it's very, very unlikely, but if you are listening to the show, great. I really appreciate it. That you bought a t-shirt and supporting what I do. So, Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com.
Ruben, what about you?
You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Mr. Ruben Prime, if you're daring. Also daring, and I haven't, it's been a minute since I've done my podcast. Yes, I do have a podcast. I'm trying to get back into it come the new year, but if you want, you can check out the Room Prime podcast. I've done a few shows with Drew here, and like he mentioned, on the Patreon, we do a show twice a month, Culture Attack. Just guess is a mishmash of just my show and just talking about, pop culture, and, we get into our, I get into the whole Disney, rants, and we go over things with Marvel, Disney, gaming, etc. And it's just, just banter, with the two of us, and definitely check it out for $5 a month if you want. And yeah, I'm planning to stream on Twitch again, and that's twitch.tv/Ruben Prime TV. And yeah, a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm planning to get back to streaming, doing content creating, because I do miss it. And, guys get a little bit of taste when I'm on here on Drew's main show and on the Patreon. So definitely just look out for me. Ruben Prime Podcast, twitch.tv/Ruben Prime TV.
I would get back into streaming some Apex Legends or something like that, but I can't sit down for 2.5 hours. Man, my streams would be short. It'd be fucking 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It'd be 50 minutes, man. But I think once GTA 6 comes out, yeah, that'll probably be the perfect spot though. So,
but definitely, there's definitely time. There's definitely time. What I do is I just stream 2.5 hours, give or take. Not that long, but I remember before I used to go for 4.
I know, bro. Yeah. I know what you mean. I used to do I did a 24-hour live stream 2 years in a row for the Call of Duty. I think it was Black Ops 3. And Black Ops 3 to me is one of the best Call of Duty games ever. So I'm glad I did that. Then after that, the next year, I think it was fucking Infinite Warfare. Oh my god, that was so terrible. I don't know how I got past 24 hours on that one though, but I got 6,000 subs just sitting there and I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't I don't know what I'm doing. So
on that note,
I'll figure it out.
On that note, that's the show, people. We will see you next week, same time, same channel on our appropriate day, Wednesday. And that's really about it. Is that about it, people? Good night, Mish. Good night, White Chocolate. And shout out to everybody that supports the show, that shares and subscribes and everything else. So, see you later, peeps. And see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.